Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday. I'm glad to be here today. I am very blessed and honored to be able to even speak today. So the first thing I want to discuss is that, as last week, I'm not going to be reading a writing. I'm going to be discussing a writing that was sent to me yesterday by a friend and a sister, Nicole. The writing was about letting your light shine. And it sort of hit a spot because a lot of us go through life where we just seem to want to be placed in a cubicle of where everybody thinks we should be. And I'm going to use myself again as that example. A lot of my life I have, when it comes to my goals and my ambitions, I have let others place upon me what they perceive my position should be in life. I never thought of myself as this woman with view or goal that was so spectacular that it would make a difference in the world. But that's where we get caught up. I think we get, and I noticed it myself. I didn't used to do a lot of scrolling through social media. I make a post or just to be able to see my children. Yes, I troll my children. And not to see what they're doing, but to mainly be able to enjoy their accomplishments with them. I don't always make comments or things like that. I'm not that boyish person. I used to, when my boys were younger, I would give them all kinds of accolades out in the public. But after a while, I figured people get tired of hearing you about your children. The faces and looks I would get, like I thought my children were better than anybody. And no, it's not that. I don't think my children are better than anybody else's. Okay, maybe I do. But I have watched my children accomplish great and spectacular things. And all on that basis of letting their light shine. They say that you have to break that chain, that link that creates certain generational things. A majority of my life, I was told I was not going to be anything. And then as I had children, it wasn't not just those that I thought should love me and my children that said it, but it was so-called saints of the church. And I know some of you have listened to me speak before and say the past 6 years, I have learned and built my relationship with God. And that's honesty. Because it was a lot of those saints in the church that made me dim my light. But in all that process, what I realize is that we become our own greatest enemy when it comes to dimming our light. We're all put here for a purpose. All of us. Some of us get there a little later in life. Some of us have an idea of what we want to do, but not how to do it. The problem is that we have certain people in our circle that we think are there for us, but they actually are there against us. They're those naysayers that if you bring up a subject, it's always, are you sure you can do that? Is that really what you want to do? How are you going to do that? That's a big, big goal to have. Maybe you should do it on a smaller scale. But some of us are not made for smaller scale. Some of us are chosen to be on a higher scale. One of the things I noticed on social media is that for those of us who had, and like I said, I'll use myself as an example because I don't like pointing fingers at other people. That's something that you all have to deal with yourselves, one-on-one with yourself. I hope you get therapy if you need it or anything like that, but that's something that you have to deal with one-on-one. And we forget that. I found myself looking at a lot of the so-called positive social media post. And when you actually look at some of them, you start to wonder, and you pick apart the little speeches and things like that. Where do these people get that information from? Have you been through this? Is this something that you have lived? Is this a foundation that you're walking on? Has something or someone in your life close to you gone through this that you have witnessed and know that this is from experience? So one of the things that I noticed is that people have a tendency, when it comes to you trying to come out of your past and shine your light, some people don't want you to be who you say you're about to become, because then they have nothing else on you. Case in point, when I first got out of my last abusive relationship and started being alone, my mother passed away, my birth mother. And me and her had built our relationship those last 2 years or 2.5 years of her life. And I thank God for all of that. But I went home and I went and visited my god sister, Charlene. And a young man that we both knew from our childhood happened to come past her house. And his exact statement was, instead of saying, "Hey, haven't seen you in so long, hope you're doing good," he said, "I remember when I kissed you in the closet at the church." I think I was 12, 13. Just the fact that he remembered a point in my life that was embarrassing as I got older, but he chose to bring that up, and I was in my 40s. So realizing and reading what my sister Cole sent me yesterday, this is the topic it brought me to. You're going to always have people that want you to dim your light. They're going to see something in you that they can't see in themselves. Your path has brought you through and brought you out as a warrioress. You're strong. You know what you want to accomplish, but you have dimmed that light so long that you fear letting it out. I'm here to tell you this. Sometimes you can't hide that light. Sometimes you go to a job and you are doing that job, and then all of a sudden you just pick it up. And once you pick it up, you start flying. And then you notice people around you start to treat you different. Oh, she thinks she's all that. Oh, he thinks he's all that. They think they know more than me, and I've been here 10 years. But that's not your problem. Your problem is the fact that you are not afraid to do what you know you can do. You're not afraid to let that light dim. You're going to always have people that want you to dim your light. And there's going to always be times that light won't dim automatically. I know. Because every position I go into, I always hold back my knowledge. Out of fear of being ostracized because I learned the job and I do the job beyond what they expected me to do. There's not been a job that I went to and I've always started off at the bottom and left at the top. That's why I think I like custom call center jobs now more, because there's so many of you. It's hard for you to be spotted out as something extraordinary. There's not a way to pinpoint just you. So I learned how to dim my light in that. But as I get older, those jobs get frustrating because I want to do so much more. See, when you have a light inside of you, and we all do, and it chooses that it wants to shine, you can't stop that light. That light is in control. That light is your beacon. That light is what you have earned. And in that earning, there has been loss. There has been failures. There has been hurt and pain. And on all that foundation, with those bits of flaws, have come wisdom and hope and faith and strength. And all of that mixed together makes you something that some people can't stand. The light is so bright, they just can't stand it. Don't dim your light. Don't dim your accomplishment. Don't dim your strength ever for someone else. And if you have to do that for that person to want to be with you, stay with you, for anybody that wants to be in your circle and support you, let them go. You don't have to be malice about it. You don't have to be angry about it. You don't even have to cuss them out. My sons will tell you I got 2 cuss words in my whole vocabulary. I had more when I was in the Navy, but I only have 2. The SH word and the CK word. And if you hear me say those 2, let the discussion go. Let the topic go. Because I am not going to let it go. I will fight you tooth and nail once those words surface. But we all have triggers. We all have things that bring that light to the surface. The problem is that we fight that light. We want to hold it down because we don't want to offend anyone else. But here's the thing. Who is suffering? Is it those that you're trying not to offend, or is it you? Do you have to get up each day wondering if you did your best yesterday because you succumbed to somebody else's insecurities? Your light is in you because you earned it. Your light is in you because it's been waiting to be let go and to be a beacon to others. There is something within you with your light that will lead others to have the strength to let their shine as well. Don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat yourself of the struggles that you've went through and the lessons that you've learned through them. Don't let that be done. So from this point on, this is my challenge. My challenge is for those of you who know you are spectacular in something, whether it's writing a book, whether it's cooking, whether it's painting, whether it's helping the homeless or nursing. You're a LPN and should be an RN. You're administrative assistant right now, but you should be working and sitting in the boardroom with upper management. If those are all those lights that are within you, don't let it stop you. Don't worry about what somebody else thinks, because anybody that is really for you will not have the capacity of a roach. And a roach, they crawl over each other. They don't build a bridge. They just crawl over each other and keep falling down. You want that circle that are like ants, that when they climb on top of each other, they keep still and they don't go over the next ant until that bottom layer is solid. Continue to build your foundation. Continue to strive to be what you want to be. Even if it means you have to go back to school. Don't go to traditional college if it's not you. Take a course. There's so many things out here now that will help you let that light shine so brightly that those who doubt you, that those who refuse to let you let it shine, you can blind them with it. So happy last Sunday of July. For those of you that I won't get to speak to before the 1st, happy new month early. But most importantly, for those of you who have cradled or capped off their light, I dare you to take it off now. Y'all have a blessed and safe Sunday, an awesome and great new week, and keep shining.